Well, we're going up into the clouds today. I've got a 4,000 foot climb in just a little over 6 miles. And we're going to talk about how you can correct one of the most common mistakes with run form and how it will help your climbing and running up hills. Let's get it.
1, 2, 3, 4. I was born to run
So let's get right into it. The most common run form mistake is heel striking, and that presents all sorts of problems in itself. But we're going to look at a more subtle mistake and look to correct that. I know you're wondering what's on my feet today. I've got the Scarpa Spin Ultra 2. Perfect for a longer day in the Alpine when I want a little bit more rock protection, but still good ground feel. This is my go-to choice for long days on various speeds traveling through the mountains. Okay, let's dive in. The most common run form mistake is heel striking. And if you're new to the channel, if you are unsure what this really means, a great skill to learn is just simply running in place, preferably barefoot, so you understand the subtle forefoot to heel striking. That's where we get our elastic energy. That's where we can improve our cadence. That's where we get our force. That's where everything, all the magic happens, okay? But what I want to talk about today is a subtle mistake that a lot of runners make. And that is, and this is regardless of how you're striking the ground. Okay, so let's take heel striking or how you're striking the ground out of the equation and talk about this subtle mistake. It's common for runners to have the mindset to focus on the takeoff leg or the leg that's in the air. And with this mindset, the mindset is to reach to get your distance per stride or your speed. So again, I think the key here is the mindset of what you're thinking about, if you're thinking about anything at all, to reach out in front of you to get that distance. Okay, and what this is doing, even if you're striking what you consider a good foot strike, you're still overreaching, reducing your cadence, and not utilizing force and energy, our natural elastic energy that comes with natural good form to provide and propel us forward. And so then with this mindset, the mistake that happens is that as you're preparing to reach out in front of you to get distance, we're dropping the foot. And I like to look at the ankle. We're dropping that foot and ankle too soon and too close to the ground too soon. Therefore, it's forcing us then to have to reach out to make sure we land and strike the ground without falling. Okay? And so what we want to talk about is switching our mindset to not letting that foot drop and to elevate the ankle and the foot up a little bit higher, having it pass more through the calf, so then we are landing closer to our body to absorb that natural elastic energy to then spring forward. So let's look at two runners. Notice how low his foot is, almost touching the ground, and then it forces him to reach out and heel strike and overstride. Opposed to her, see how much higher her foot is? That allows her to strike closer to her body and underneath her and propelling herself forward. So again, this is going to help you increase your cadence, and this is where we're going to talk about on a hill. Increase your cadence, increase the usage of your natural elastic energy that's healthy, okay? And again, where this really becomes even more of an issue is when we're climbing hills. And now the most powerful way to get better at climbing hills is increasing your cadence, reducing your ground contact time, and allowing you to get into a rhythm to use that elastic energy to help you pop up the hill. Okay, so if you're dropping, especially, when we're running uphill, we're running a lot slower. So again, slow speeds really bring out lots of mistakes. So when we're running uphill at a slower pace because of the hill, now we're going to pull into that mistake even more and dropping that foot and then reaching out. That's going to really, really increase our ground contact time, and again, not allowing you to use that elastic energy to not only become more efficient, but faster and stronger uphill. So there's 2 ways that we can practice this. And one is simply finding a flight of stairs and simply running up the flight of stairs at an easy, moderate, and fast speed. You can't run up a flight of stairs by dropping that foot too soon. It's just a natural skill that we can use these stairs to help you really do it properly. Again, you can't do it wrong. So find that flight of stairs and just run up and down in the form of intervals at various speeds so you can feel that mechanical action and that spring and that elastic energy helping you go up the stairs. That's what we want to feel when we run up hills. And then you can take that visualization when you hit a hill, visualize yourself running up that flight of stairs. Because again, the key is to help you feel what it feels like to do it proper so you can mimic that feeling. And this is a good way to visualize that when you're in the hills. Okay? Another key point of what this is doing, by allowing that ankle to come a little bit higher and the foot a little bit higher through the calf, it's also physics. What goes up must go down. So bringing in a little bit more height as you cycle through will automatically provide a little bit more force into the other leg, which is now on the ground. And that naturally provides force into the ground to help you propel forward. And this is how both legs work in unison with each other. So by lifting that foot a little bit higher through, that's, again, what goes up must go down. So that's providing force into the ground, which is paramount for becoming a faster, stronger, healthier uphill runner. Okay? And then another great drill and skill is what I call running with logs. This, simply go to a football field and find the hash marks and just run over the hash marks. Or some of my camps, I have the campers take all their shoes off and we all line them up in a little bit of line similar to the hash marks of the football field and just run through them. And again, stepping over the hash marks or stepping over the shoes allows you to feel what it's like to lift that foot a little bit higher and not overstride. And keeping the distance of the hash marks or the shoes shorter allows you to then land more underneath you when you strike the ground. So again, it's just a great, great skill to do, to really feel and to practice, because practice is what helps muscle memory take place. And that's the key to changing something, is you have to practice it. Okay? So try these skills and perfect it through time so you can start to feel it. And then when you're out on the hills, have this awareness of providing a little bit more force into the ground with the stance leg, and then visualizing stepping over the stair or stepping over the hash marks or shoes, and create that feeling that you created in your practice. So play around with this. The key is to feel the magic, and that's where the practice comes in. All right, over and out from Holy Moly Trail, Jackson Hole, Born to Run World. See you guys.